Hey, it's another day working on the van. It's in the evening, so hopefully the light does okay. Just wanted to give you a few updates since the last time. So we installed our White House Industries shelf, and it comes with all of this stuff cut out so that you can put accessories. I think we're going to do some hooks right there. I was able to find some Havelock wool on Facebook, and so we stuffed and insulated all of the area in front of the cab where you can get a lot of heat transfer in. A lot of people forget to insulate that space, so we used some Havelock wool there. And then we added some panel insulation. And this is a Silas hybrid, and what it is it's kind of a mix between the butyl insulation that you have with Kilmat and some urethane. So you can see it's got 3 layers. The bottom layer is an adhesive to stick to the wall. There's some foam in the middle, and then there's more kind of butyl on the outside, and then a nice cover. So I think we're gonna we did that, and I drove around, and it makes quite a bit of difference. So I got some other stuff, some 80/20 to start with all of our cabinets. That is of course not why I'm making the video today, because today we are going to be putting the Maxx Air fan on the roof. All right, so we have a lot of things to get ready for this project. We have our Maxx Air fan Deluxe, we have our roof gasket, and then we have some internal framing, some super glue, screws to put that internal framing together, some lap sealant, butyl tape, primer for clean metal, Sikaflex 221, 4 clamps, some aluminum strips. I'll show you what those aluminum strips and the clamps are for as we get closer to the installation. And then we have a single clean bimetal carbide tip blade to make our cut on the roof. So let me show you where that gasket goes and how it works. All right, so I have a couple gaskets. The black one that I showed in the initial setup was for where the air conditioner goes. The one for the MaxxFan is white, and it only has a couple little contours on it. You got a little piece right there, and then you have a chamfer area. And what that's going to do is that's going to help us locate it up on the roof. So if I climb up here, see the area that we're going to take is right here, and then this gasket slides right to the front of that rib, and then you can see the contours that are cut out catch this small rib, and that's going to sit perfectly on the roof right there. And so we'll drill a couple holes on the inside just to make sure that that gasket is perfectly centered where we want it to in the bay, and then we're going to glue it down first, and then we'll cut to the inside of that. So probably tonight we'll glue down the upper piece once we make sure that it's perfectly located in that center section, and then we'll let that cure overnight, and then we'll go to cutting everything out tomorrow. Okay, so we marked everything, we cleaned the roof, and we have a bead down, and now we're just going to take that gasket and put it right down where we need to go. All right, anyone that's worked with Sikaflex before knows it's super sticky, but also super messy, but it cleans up pretty easily with alcohol. So that's going to be it for this evening, and we'll see you tomorrow. All right, so it's the next day, and the gasket is sealed down and adhered to tight. So we're going to drill 2 holes in each corner. One right there and one right there. And then we're just going to run the jigsaw and cut out the hole. So before we do that, we're going to tape up a bag on the inside to catch all of the metal shavings from the jigsaw. All right, well, that made quite the mess. But we're done. So next step, we're gonna paint the edges just to make sure that nothing rusts. And then we'll get the surface prepared. Next step will be the butyl tape and putting the actual receiving piece from the fan down. And then we'll mark all those holes, pre-drill them real fast, and then we'll set it in place. Shouldn't take long. So the flange fits nice and snug in. We're just going to drill all these holes straight through so that we have something good to screw in, a little bit smaller than the screw that it's going, so we have a good pathway down. Okay, now that we have the edges spray painted, we're putting the interior framing together. We just have it measured and clamped. And then we're going to use some of this hobby style super glue to kind of bond the edges real fast, and then we're going to put screws in it. The kit comes with screws to screw this together. They say you don't have to pre-drill, but I'm going to pre-drill anyway. But the super glue will wick down between the 2 pieces and hold it together so we can put the screws in, and then we'll glue it up and clamp it while we get everything prepared to put down. All right, we have a generous bead of the Sikaflex on here. And we're gonna clamp that up there and let it dry a little bit, and then enough to hold it so that it's tacky. And then we'll go ahead and we'll stick the other, we'll start covering the butyl tape on the roof for the flange to the gasket mount, and then we'll get ready to screw everything down. All right. We got that clamped up, and that's just going to give us some structural support just along the framing of the van so that there's not a lot of flex. There's some wind pressure that's on those fans when you're driving down the road, so those supports just kind of help flex. So in my other van, I actually built boxes out of wood. I'll put a link in the description below on how I did that in case you don't want to buy these brackets. They are kind of expensive, and you can really make the wood ones a lot cheaper, but I wanted to put non-wood stuff in the roof as much as I could, and I kind of like the way these are all put together. So the next step is we're going to take the frame and make sure all of our pieces that we made last night all are ready to go, and then we're going to put butyl tape down on the bottom of this so that when we set it down on the gasket, all we're going to do is just drill it in place with the screws that come in the package. So we are really close, so we're going to put the butyl tape on. We got 3/4 inch butyl tape, and we're just going to put 1 layer down just along where the holes are, and that will seal it up just fine. Okay, the reason why we use butyl tape It's got the backing on it still because I'm not ready to put it up there. But the reason why we use the butyl tape is because if we ever want to take that flange off, for whatever reason we can. If we use sealant, like the Sikaflex 2, there's no way we're getting that flange off. So it's just a way, just in case we ever want to take it off, we have that ability. All right, we got it tacked in and Emily is down there holding it in place. We're gonna slide in the fixture that holds the fan down, and then we'll just put our aluminum plates down and screw it all together. All right, so that finishes things up. We're nice and installed there. And you can see on the inside, so these sit nice and flush with that for the ceiling. So the install went pretty well. Overall, I'm happy with everything. You know, once we got done screwing the flange down, basically all you're doing is just dropping the fan down on the inside, and then we took some lap sealant and covered around the edges. So that was the install of our Maxx Air fan on the van using the DIY van gasket and interior supports. Overall, I'm pretty happy with how that gives us a nice firm foundation for the fan to sit on. And also it gives some structure to the inside of the roof. What's next for us, as you can see, we have the next opening ready to be cut out for the air conditioner. So I marked that after we got done with the install. We're gonna cut that first with a jigsaw because of the two ridge humps right here. Right there. That if we put the gasket down first like we did for the Maxx Air fan, the jigsaw blade's just not gonna cut right. So we're gonna cut that first and then put the gasket down second. That's gonna give us a nice, again, firm foundation for the AC. So with that being said, thanks for tuning in. I hope you guys got something from the video. If you're interested in watching us install our air conditioner unit, please stick around because we'll be doing that next. Thanks. This is Dan from Ramblin' Ambition, and we will see you next time.